Locked in, seal the flavor,
Yes.
and we're rolling. Welcome back. We are still here at X Games 2024. I am Sam Schneider. I am Badbeard, and this is my show where I talk to really interesting people that I've met along the way from an interesting life that I live, and this is one of the most interesting of those.
Excellent.
Josh Slay, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. Just enjoying this part of action sports that has really evolved.
You've seen a lot of it.
Yeah. I've been blessed to have been in the game since birth, and my father and his whole in the side of surfing, but also with family and skateboarding and stuff like that.
So give us a little more of that introduction. Who are you? Where you're from? And what was that start in the space?
Okay, so name's Joshua Slay. They call me Slay Dog, or Slay Pup, or Hammer in hooligan racing. But so started out originally over on Oahu in Kahuku. My father, Randy Slay, was a famous surfboard shaper in the sport of surfing. Legendary, and at one point in the 80s, the best in the world. He was a part of the whole three-fin design with Aloha Surfboards and Simon Anderson during a time that there was major design changes in surfboards that helped progress it to where we're able to see the performance surfing now.
So went from just riding waves to being able to...
Yeah, now you can, you see it nowadays. They're doing tricks, aerial surfing, which was really my background. And my dad really helped the surfers with Christian Fletcher. He made his boards. So when Fletcher came onto the scene, my dad was his weapons maker for his surfboards for him to allow to do the radical acrobatic skateboard style surfing.
One, that's been really interesting because I know you through motorcycles.
Yes.
And so as we got to know each other, then obviously I learned more about you. But then specific to your social media, I see you're king about putting out clips from the life you've lived. And so it's always fun to see you at your best from here, from there, that I would have otherwise not known.
Okay.
Because I just know you, how
from hooligan racing. Yeah.
And so that was a whole life for you. Like surfing was huge.
Yeah, I was. At one point I surfed for Toyota. I surfed for Hurley. I had some other sponsors. There was an old eyewear company called Anarchy, and Osiris Shoes was really big in the early 2000s with skateboarding. And I helped pioneer bringing the car companies, Toyota, and the dealerships and stuff and things like that into action sports with surfing as one of the first athletes to kind of, in the later stages, not in the early 70s, they had other surfers that were sponsored by car companies, but in the 2000s when the air show started, I was lucky enough to develop a great relationship with a dealership up in Orange County. So.
Well, so that was the early 2000s. How far did you take that? What was that experience like?
So I went for 11 years, and so I was a part
Shredding the gnar for 11 years?
Shredding the gnar, yeah. And, it's actually led me to here today, where I pioneered the winch in surfing. And so now I'm working with a company right now. They had me come out here as a representative and to help them with the athletes. Because what happened was I got into winching, and I met a guy named Joey Jones. And Joey basically helped engineer and forged forward with the electric winch to make it now a new motorsport where on the MotoWinch there's a throttle.
Are you calling it a MotoWinch or a motor winch?
MotoWinch.
MotoWinch,
Yes,
okay.
sorry about that. But they have it here, which is really neat. The wake skaters are first time in a long time. They're doing a demo, and they're hoping for next year to be able to be in a medal sport.
Yeah.
For it again. And it's really cool to be here because right now with me, I've fallen back into the surf realm, and I'm doing my Blast Off Air Show, blastofairshow.com if you guys want to check it out. But I've brought the winch to surfing, and that was through all my aerial surfing and all that stuff, and that I've found the winching through wake surfing. So I helped pioneer the surf style in that sport. And the board designs. So
that's you bringing it down to the beach, hitting the surf, and then...
I went to the lakes and rivers.
Yeah. And
then I helped back in the day. I was one of the pro surfers that started going in and being like, hey, this is a surfboard, let's make them shorter. And hey, the skimboard is skim style, surf
Are you shaping
style.
yourself, or you're working with folks that are other shapers? And
today, when my father passed, I picked up the tools. And it was kind of more or less just like a respect thing for Dad and make sure that it didn't die with him, the craft. So I make my own boards, I build them, start them, and for me now it's more about the art and the leg legacy, but also the art and the certain details of certain manufacturing with the glass jobs, working with resins and stuff, to working with the different foams, to building the blanks like from scratch. And yeah, making it art, just having fun. It's my passion now, which is really interesting because I never wanted to be my dad.
And look at that, full circle.
Yeah.
Well, so then with what wake skating's turning into, and then how you guys have developed the MotoWinch.
Yep.
Do you see the same future that when I talked to Keaton?
Okay.
Do you see that same potential? You're like, oh yeah, next year this will be at X Games for sure.
I hope so. They're just so gosh dang good on water. I mean, they're taking skateboarding and bringing it on water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the back blunt to kickflip out, or just really technical, incredibly technical, hard tricks that they're doing on cement or wood ramps and things like that. To see what they're doing right now for wake skating, I don't even think these guys are showing their A game.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. It's the guys that are here. I think they're just showing. They're going out there and doing what they want to do to have fun. I've seen one of the guys, Cole. He went and locked and did a really technical trick. And I was talking to another guy, Travis, and I looked at Travis. I'm all, wow, that was technical. And he goes, he hasn't even shown his cards yet. He hasn't shown his hand. And I was like, wait, what? Okay.
This is something.
This is action for the content for TV. This is the kind of stuff that, like, with me, what I'm doing, which is really rad, because the winch now, it's got a throttle on it. So now the athlete actually is a motorsport. It's taken board sports and made it a motorsport.
Is he on the board with the throttle? This is a remote throttle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so on the wakeboard handle is a throttle, and then that communicates via Y to a receiver that's next to the actual electric motor hub that's towing in the rope.
Is it a Bluetooth type signal, or what is that?
I don't really know the engineering details of that, which that's great, but I know that the technology, so with me, I did the beta testing, and so because I am in the surf, so it's always in the salt water, but in the salt water, when we get overcast days, the ions started to mess with the frequency.
Oh.
And so I was having, at first, they were having communication problems. So I think that they got into military technology to get it to where it's at now. And I know that they've worked with the FCC. They got all the codes, and now everything's like legit. So I'm really proud of the whole team behind MotoWinch. It's really amazing.
Are we going to see you in the pool today?
I don't know. I've been asked that, but I would go and do it. But I mean, because I haven't wake skated in a bit, but I would definitely go out and try some shoves and kick flips and stuff. But it's cool. I just respect the boys. I'm really, really amazed with what they're doing.
I was talking to Keaton, and I was like, is there a lower entry for risk? Like, it's not like wakeboarding where you could blow your knees out. It's not like skateboarding on the street where you're, like, on the pavement. Is it a little more forgiving? Or is there...
I mean, you could walk right out of this thing and roll your ankle.
I know.
So, I mean, that's the risk taker. Yeah. You know, I mean, if it's your moment, I think with anybody, if that's your day, that's your day. There's nothing you can do.
Right.
But as far as, like, the moment... I think in anything, it doesn't matter if we're on a motorcycle or if you have the technique, you have the technique. But I think, it's just like anything, everybody has a moment. So are you willing to take the risk?
So specific to risk, are we going to see you back on bikes?
Yeah, I just started, I quit. Like after Super Hooligans in 2019 and then COVID hit, I kind of just like lost the mojo. I think a lot of guys did. And it was funny because a lot of the guys that I inspired to do it got mad. Because I was...
Where are you going, bro?
Yeah, I want you. I want to beat you, And so about a week ago, we had Harley Nights at Costa Mesa. And I've been away from it, but I still have my bike, but I've been away. And I finally... I don't know, it was just, it's I think with anybody, when you have that inner voice in you and the inner child, and it comes back and you remember the stoke. I was away long enough that I remembered... I forgot my why I did it, but I listened. I was like, okay, maybe I'll go this week. And I started, I'm like, no, I'm going. I'm going. And I got there, and just the community and the family of everybody, I forgot. It was so bitching.
Yeah.
And for me this time, it wasn't about like trying to outdo or beat your buddy or whatever. I just wanted to go out and just slide the Harley and get sideways and feel the energy of that bull ring that Costa Mesa provides. But as soon as I got on the line, it was funny. I think there's competitive people, and then you have people that they'll tell themselves they're not. And I'm that guy that tells them.
Ooh, firecracker.
I'm like, no, I'm not competitive. Dude, you guys take off the line. I got on the line, and I'm looking at the rhythm as it launched. Something just clicked, and I just hammered down, and all of a sudden, yeah, I got a good hole shot.
Nice.
And then I think I got past, but it was rad because this time I didn't care if I got past. All of a sudden, my friend that always never could pass me, he's passing me, and I could hear him laughing. He got you, and I'm like, right on,
Yeah.
It's just like that feeling of having ultimate trust because it's such a risk-taking factor sport where a guy's on a big Harley, and if you don't know him, there's a level of risk you're taking because he could kill you. He could take you out. But these guys that I'm riding with, I know them, and I get really close to them because I'm nearsighted, and I don't have glasses on in my helmet. So I'm more off a feeling. If I feel close to you, I feel safe, which freaks everyone out. I think that's my advantage, maybe. So I'm always like, why are you getting so close? And I'm like, oh, I feel comfortable now.
Because I can't see you. I have to know that you're there.
I have to know you're there, yeah.
Yeah. I have a buddy that he rode X Games for a while, BMX dude.
Epic.
Alex, big boy, I see you.
Right on, Alex.
That's it. And he's blind as a bat. And we were doing something, and I was like, let's just put your glasses on, see how you do it. And he put his glasses on, and he goes, I can see too well. And whatever we were doing with, he's like, I got to take them off.
Yeah. So I tried some glasses on, and I was like, oh, hell no.
World got too real.
Way too real.
Yeah.
Even in the surf, when it's really big waves, I'm better off.
You like a nice haze.
I like a haze.
Yeah.
It's all feeling. It's all braille.
Yeah, give me a couple beers, just like,
Yeah.
glaze it over.
Let's just relax.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell you how excited I was when I saw you walk by because I've always liked you and what you put out on your socials. You're just a really positive dude, and I think specifically in our motorcycle space, there's a lot of cool tough guys.
Oh wow. I've noticed that.
Maybe this I was like maybe this is my own perspective, but I was like it's nice to see when someone can be vulnerable and speak to anything that is a little more outside of their ego.
Right.
And that's something I've seen with you, and so I've always appreciated you for that.
Oh, right on, man. Wow, that's humbling. Yeah, I think for me, I had a moment in life in 2015 that I faced cancer, and it was really eye-opening for me. And I had a friend say, "Hey, your ego is not your amigo." And when I was facing death, I looked at life through a different lens, and it just made me realize, like, everything that I thought was something that I was chasing after, whether it was money or status or any of those things, really didn't. There was no benefit for other people. And so for me, that's when I changed my tune to look at life as like, what role am I playing? Like, and as an ex-professional athlete, when I found hooligan racing, that was like kind of the ego kicking back up again. And I was like, oh, competitor, me, and then like, really I kind of lost myself a bit in 2019 doing, because it was just over beers. We were like, let's see if Slay, you think you can top 11? Yeah, right, buddy. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm on a top 11. Matter of fact, I'm going to get 7th in the nation on Super Hooligans. And I ended up doing it, talking smack. But then afterwards, you just get back to it. You get grounded through life, whether it's certain events you get hurt or, certain circumstances, or for me, it was losing like over 11 friends in the last year through, circumstances. And you get back to it and you're like, wow, life's not about all these things that I'm holding all these high expectations of things. And you just kind of reach a point where you're like, how can I help the future? Like for me right now at the Blast Off Air Show, it's about the future young youth that are all stoked on it. That's why I started it. Kids coming up to me going, Slay, what's up with the winch? I want to do it in the surf, and I was like, wow. And there's right now in the sport of surfing and action sports, there's room now. People have really evolved, and it's the next generation that are really open-minded to new things and ways and how, besides paddling with your own arms, to have something that could give you a training tool or give you the speed when the waves are small to fly at waves. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And like, it's brought me back. It's funny, I'll walk away from things and things draw me back in. And that's how I'm here today right now.
And that's what brought us back together.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah, dude. As our light party just starts over
Yeah.
here, I guess that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I really appreciate your time,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we'll do this again. But now is your time. If you want to, this camera or that camera, you can share anything you want to bring attention to, or tell people where to go find you.
Yeah, so it's at SlayJosh on Instagram, or you can check out at Blast Off Air Show. And yeah, I just, much love to everyone. Prosper, success, love, and if you get a chance to help someone, go for it. Don't be scared.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, with that, I appreciate you, and thanks always for watching.
Yeah.
Check us out, follow, like, subscribe, tell your friends. It's going to be good. We're talking to all sorts of different folks, and I know a lot of them, so I like to keep it interesting and educational, because that's how I learn and grow myself. So thanks for following along, and until next time. Shoo! That was it, man.
Yeah, man. Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
No, that's great.